Before we get started, folks, make sure you hit the pause button. Okay, go down below. There's a Rumble link. Go over to Rumble and follow us over there. QFS1776.com is, without question, the holy grail of what's to come. Okay, T-shirts. You got to get yourself decorated. This way people will ask you, what is XRP? What is the quantum financial system? What is this? What is that? And you send them where? To QFS1776.com, where they need to immerse themselves, because we're going to burn down this system down to the ground. And out of the ashes will rise the phoenix. There'll be nothing to go back to. Believe me when I tell you that. Also, our Telegram groups down below. If you want to learn what's coming and you're sort of a little scared, I understand. Believe me, I was there too at one point. And if you need more than $10,000 worth of XRP or $1 million worth of XRP, you come see me. Send me an email at QFS1776@gmail, and we'll get you as much as you want. Gold and silver. Welcome to CarminesGold.com. Don't waste not even a second looking. Cheaper prices just don't exist. How important is it for you to own gold and silver right now? What does it mean to me personally? There's an economy that's about to crash beyond what words can explain. In 5 words, I'm going to educate you on gold and silver. Are you ready? You need to own some. Simple.
3 years ago, August 2020. So a lot has happened since then. Watch this. NESARA GESARA, a law that would change our lives. Have you guys heard of this thing? So apparently there was a law that was supposed to be enacted that would return us to the gold standard. The law was supposed to take effect several years ago now. And so I happened upon this article, and it kind of points towards all these hints that could have, would have, should have brought us back to the gold standard many, many years ago. Now, I know some of you guys might think, okay, this is a little too conspiratorial for me. So I would suggest maybe don't watch this video if that's not your thing. Although after going over some of this stuff, I did find it quite interesting. And yes, guys, there is an XRP connection to this as well. So I'm going to get to that in a sec. First off, I want to go over what this is for those of you guys who just don't know. This article states, I will start this broadcast with a clip from President Trump about Justice John Roberts. And so here's the clip here, guys. It's embedded within this article. I'm not going to play the full thing for copyright reasons, but I am going to play a portion of it for you guys here. Then we're going to talk a little bit about it. So this is President Trump on Chief Justice Roberts.
I'm going to put in a major complaint because you cannot win if you're us a case in the Ninth Circuit. And I think it's a disgrace. This was an Obama judge. And I'll tell you what, it's not going to happen like this anymore.
So Trump is calling Justice Roberts an Obama judge. What does that mean exactly? Well, Roberts rebukes this comment, saying we do not have Obama judges or Trump judges, Bush judges or Clinton judges. What we have is an extraordinary group of dedicated judges doing their level best to do equal right to those appearing before them. Well, Donald Trump retorts, sorry, Chief Justice John Roberts, but you do indeed have Obama judges, and they have a much different point of view than the people who are charged with the safety of our country. This from back in November 2018. So how does this relate to this NESARA GESARA thing? Well, here's what it is. In short, it was formed by farmers that were taken advantage of by the government. They incorporated a section of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. This article summarizes NESARA's origins and how it applies to us today. If you guys want to read the article, it is linked in this article here. It's the 14th Amendment. Read it carefully. Section 4 of the amendment. And so here it is. The validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred for payments of pensions and bounties for services in suppressing insurrection or rebellion, shall not be questioned. But neither the United States nor any state shall assume or pay any debt or obligation incurred in aid of insurrection or rebellion against the United States, or any claim for the loss or emancipation of any slave, but all such debts, obligations, and claims shall be held illegal and void. So in short, NESARA is forgiveness of credit card, mortgage, and other bank debt due to illegal banking and government activities. It would abolish income tax. It would abolish IRS, creates flat rate, non-essential, new items only sales tax revenue for government. It would increase benefits to senior citizens, returns to constitutional law, establishes new presidential and congressional elections within 120 days after NESARA's announcement, monitors elections and prevents illegal election activities or special interest groups, creates new U.S. Treasury treasury currency, a rainbow currency backed by gold, silver, and platinum and precious metals. That is really important, guys. We're going to get to that point in a bit. Returns constitutional law to all our courts and legal matters, initiates new U.S. Treasury bank system in alignment with constitutional law, eliminates the Federal Reserve System, restores financial privacy, retains all judges and attorneys in constitutional law, ceases all aggressive U.S. government military actions worldwide, establishes peace throughout the world, initiates first phase of worldwide prosperity distribution of vast wealth, which has been accumulating for many decades, releases enormous sums of money for humanitarian purposes, and enables the release of new technologies such as alternative energy devices.
Okay, Mel.
Well,
There
that was
you
a
go.
lot.
There you go.
A lot.
That's a lot. It's a
So-
great video. People should watch that video more than once. You should study and go verify whatever it is he's reading, because it is the real deal. Look, and also that I have the original document that lives at QFS1776.com, and we have we have 30 actual videos, and at number 9 is not a video. Document number 9 is the original document that actually was written by the farmers, that was presented to Congress to say, hey, we're tired of this bullshit. Things should be working this way instead, which makes all the sense. People who like to make fun of shit are stupid. And I'm going to tell you why they're stupid. I call them out, publicly stupid, because you're not willing to go do your homework. You're not willing to read the 88-page document, and you're willing to argue about something you know nothing about. That makes you stupid. Okay. You heard Donald Trump saying, we need a monetary level playing field. We're going to give the power back to you, the people. Gee, what do you think that stuff means when he's out there now saying, we're going to take the government, the federal government, down by 50%. Then you bring in the guy by the name of Elon Musk. He says, we're going to have this DOGE thing that stands for the Department of Government Efficiency. Okay. And we're going to trim $21 billion off of the fat that we're overspending in government, and close down a bunch of 3, 4, and 5-letter agencies that do nothing for you. Are we allowed to curse here? I'm not sure. Is this a rated G or rated PG? Huh?
Well, we're rated cartoon.
So I like to drive my fucking point home.
No, it's
you know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not
So
too many
The bottom
F-bombs.
line is go read the document. Go watch these videos that we're telling you to watch, and then you have to come to a conclusion. Obviously, if the elevator does not get to the top floor, that's your problem, not my problem, right? Does that make sense?
So it's interesting, as we start dissecting some of the things that are going to happen or get ready to happen, whether they can pull all of these, components off. That's the big question. As we're
It's
looking
happening
at
right
it
now, Jeff.
right now.
Jeff,
No, I get, yeah,
it's happening right now.
Things are happening. They're orchestrating. So I find another component of it is, they're going after Visa and MasterCard. There have been multiple hearings on Visa and MasterCard and the amount of interest that they're charging. And so if you go back and watch the hearings when they had them coming from in front of Congress, they're making 50 to 60% margins, and these credit card companies charging 28, 29% interest on people's and so they're coming after that because it's excessive. And so,
Great point.
So when we start looking at every aspect of traditional banking that we're all familiar with, there's so many aspects of it. And so if we are going to consider, this, initiative, and we see some of the things that Trump's talking about, and there's been more and more discussion to date of getting rid of the IRS, getting rid of the federal income tax. And before it, you were a fringe. Even if you talked about fair tax or flat tax, it was fringe and they would laugh at you. But now, who are we laughing at, right? It's the main, it's this establishment. They're going away. They got to go away.
Yeah. When Trump came down the escalator to announce he's running for president in 2016, do you know what the sign behind him said as he's coming down the escalator?
I don't remember.
Currency exchange. Currency exchange. Breadcrumb. From day one, this guy was on NESARA and GESARA. From day one.
Well, the other thing too, here's the other thing too, Mel, is when you think about what Trump said, he says it's going to be a golden age. It cannot be a golden age with a debt-ridden instrument we have called the Federal Reserve. We cannot borrow a dollar and then
He's
have
going
to
to
borrow
tell the
another.
Federal Reserve to fuck off. We're
What
not.
I'm saying,
we
though.
owe you $35 trillion, right? We're not going to give you none of it. Zero.
I had an argument with a buddy of mine. He's like, I'd like to see it's never going to happen. The political winds are going to interfere. I'm like, no, man, you don't understand. This is not Trump's first time. This is the second time he's lined up the dream team. He's putting people into position to make this happen. And what people are all freaking out about Gary Gensler. It's like, you passed the FIT 21, it passed the House, you passed in the Senate on day 2. And guess what? The SEC is hamstrung. It can't do jackass stuff. And people are talking about, oh, you do this now, man. Pass the FIT 21, it's over. There's a reason he had Andrew Jackson's portrait hanging on the Oval Office. Andrew Jackson got rid of the second central bank, right? When the charter ran out, 20 years gone. Why do you think? What do you think that blueprint is? You don't think that's a breadcrumb that he's telling us how it's going to go? Of course it is.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now check this out. There's another video
one.
here.
Just real quick,
says,
Mel, and this factors into it. Chad is saying, why are we borrowing money if we can just print it? Bukele came over here, spoke in front of CPAC, and told everybody why. He said the fact that we're even paying taxes, it's all fiction because they're just printing money. So if they can print money into oblivion, why are they collecting taxes? Your taxes
because they're a
aren't
bunch
paying
of
for
thieves.
anything.
One explanation. They're a bunch of
they're
thieves.
just taking money from people.
Yes,
we're paying tax
exactly.
upon tax upon tax, and there's so many elements of it, and it's all coming to a head right now. All of
absolutely.
This stuff is,
I'm glad you see this. It sounds like you're waking up, Jeff. Congratulations, brother.
Jeff's not waking up. Jeff's always been there. What are you talking about? Remember, wait a minute. The difference is like Jeff said, if you said this 6 months ago, you were a kook, you were a nut job, right? If you said that the earth would not be exactly round, you're a nut job because the science. If you said that we didn't go to the moon, oh my God, you're crazy time. And if you said Trump
did not go to the moon.
2020, be like, what a conspiracy theorist. But what's happening is there's a transformation. There's a reason that in the NFL and the soccer field in the world, they're doing the Trump dance. Why? Because they can. They couldn't do it 3 weeks ago, but they can now, right?
They love him. Trump is loved on a global scale.
Correct.
Globally.
And if your audience wants to follow me, if your audience wants to follow me, it's very simple. Go to qfs1776.com. And at the top of that website, you'll see all these icons. And those are most of, not all of, but most of our social media, like YouTube, Rumble, and so on, Telegram.
Also,
most of them are there.
In the details, guys, if you go in the details, the second line says follow Mel Carmine. There's a link there that has all of the links in there. Okay, so go ahead and click on that link. That's another way you can follow. So it's all there. And I'm going to go ahead and post this. I'm going to post that link in there too to follow Mel.
Mel, what do you think of this? There's two comments, all in the same kind of string here.
Sure.
But Jim is saying the global cabal is forcing Biden to resign. We still see, bizarre things coming out of the White House, and give POTUS to Kamala. She'll light off World War III because they're ramping up. We're seeing an escalation of conflict, with Russia and Ukraine, and there's more report coming out.
I'll answer that.
A Polish MP just came out and said that there's lots of money funneling from Ukraine back into the Democrat Party over here.
Yeah.
And so here, so this is Jim Diaz commenting on that.
Yeah.
And then here you have Visual Vendetta saying the only thing that might stop this is bull run, and everything that Trump wants to do is World War III.
Not going to happen, guys.
I also believe it's not. But I want to get your comment.
I'm going to tell you. First of all, she had what's called a go fast button. Okay, when they realized that they were about to lose the election, they were going to press the button, and that button was going to flip it in their favor. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm trying to stay under the radar as much as I can, and I'm sure your audience is smart enough. I'm sure they got 200 IQ on this stuff. But anyway, so you got that. You think they're going to give her a button to launch a World War III? No, they're going to give her maybe a Fugazi button, a button that doesn't do nothing, just to appease her. Say, here, go play with this. Okay. When she goes to press it, the same thing will happen because they rewired that thing and nothing happened. And Donald Trump, even though there was a lot of finagling, the finagle of the bagel, as I like to say, in a lot of those states that were supposedly blue, It was all red. We know that we won Hawaii. We know that we won New York. We know we won New Jersey. We know we won California. We won it all. Okay. This is all nonsense. There's another video here called Trump Wants to Eliminate Income Taxes. Gee, I've been talking about that forever. Okay. And, you know, there are people saying, hey, I called the IRS because they're auditing me, and they don't realize they're being audited by a law firm posing as the IRS, and they're on the phone, press this for this, press that for that, and going through all the hoops. Okay. Only to be put on hold for an hour and 40 minutes. And they've done it 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. And at the end, they get hung up on, which means nobody is home. We've showed all the videos of the sandbags and the fences in Washington, D.C., in Maryland, ginormous buildings with like 2 hectares of land of parking spaces, right? You feel what I'm saying? And nobody's coming in for lunch. Nobody's going out for dinner. Nobody's coming in for breakfast. There's nobody in the visitor parking lot. And there's Mr. Sanchez and Mr. Gonzalez in a white uniform, okay, with 2 9mm guns guarding a building that nobody reports to. They're out of fucking business.
Well, did you hear this too? That there was a new report that just came out that the IRS employees owe a shit ton of back taxes, hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
I mean, you have people in Congress, Jeff, you know what I'm talking about. People in Congress that owed tens of millions of dollars, never paid their debt. So this